I paid for my sister's wedding. Then she told me I wasn't invited. My parents said, "It's family only." My sister told me, "Know your place." I stayed quiet. But when everyone raised their glasses to toast, the doors burst open, revealing the gift I sent instead of myself. My name is Ben, I'm 32, and I just did something super petty and dramatic. But honestly, I don't regret it. For once, I made my family feel how they've made me feel for years. I run a horse ranch. It's my life's work. I train horses, raise top breeds, and teach rich kids how to ride. It makes good money. But to my family, I'm just a farm guy covered in dirt. They're embarrassed by me. Last Christmas was a perfect example. I came straight from work, jeans, boots, smelling like the ranch. I brought whiskey for Dad and a gift for my sister, Claire. As soon as I walked in, she wrinkled her nose. "Oh my God, Ben," she said, stepping back, "do you have to smell like that?" I asked, "Like what?" "Like a barn," she said. My mom added, "Sweetheart, maybe wear something cleaner next time?" My clothes were clean, just a bit dusty, but to them, I wasn't good enough. At family events, they whispered, "Why doesn't he get a real job? Why does he always look like that?" But when Claire needed money for her wedding, I suddenly became useful. She sweet-talked me during dinner. "Benny, you know I love you, right?" she said, linking her arm with mine. I knew what that meant. She wanted money. I said no right away. She pouted, "You're doing so well with your little horse thing." Mom sighed, "Ben, don't be difficult." Dad said, "It's family, we all help." Claire added, "It's not like you have a real family of your own." That hurt. I wanted their approval, so I gave in. I paid for everything, the venue, food, her fancy dress, even the honeymoon suite. And then? I didn't even get an invite. When I asked Claire why, she laughed. "It's a black tie event," she said, "we didn't want anything out of place." "But I paid for it," I said. "And I love you for that," she replied. "But really, it's not your kind of thing." Mom smiled and said, "It's family only, you understand." I understood. They wanted my money, but not me. So I let them have their perfect wedding. And I sent them a little gift. As they raised their glasses to toast, a loud honk came from outside. Someone said, "What's that smell?" Then the doors opened. I sat in my truck outside, watching through the windows. There they were, my family, dressed up, laughing and celebrating. A party I paid for. I shouldn't have been surprised, but I still hoped they'd treat me better. They didn't. So I made a call. 15 minutes later, the side doors creaked open. At first, no one noticed. Then came the sound, clop clop clop, hooves on tile. People turned. Then the smell hit, barn smell, hay, leather, horses. And then the first horse walked in, Daisy, my calm young mare. She wasn't scared, just curious. More horses followed. People in suits and gowns panicked. A waiter froze, wide-eyed. "Are those horses?" someone asked. Claire screamed, "Ben." I stood at the doorway, arms crossed. "Well," I said, "you did say it was a family event." Claire yelled, "Get them out." Before I could answer, Daisy shifted her weight. And dropped a big, wet pile of poop in the middle of the dance floor. Silence. Then someone gagged, and chaos broke out. People were tripping over themselves trying to get away. A woman in a sparkly dress screamed when one of the horses shook and flung bits of dried mud into the air. The DJ stopped the music, his mouth hanging open. Some guests ran straight for the doors. Claire stood still, her white wedding dress still perfect, until Daisy took one more step. Mud, and something worse, smeared across the bottom of the expensive gown. Claire made a strange choking sound, like a gasp mixed with a sob. "Oh my God," she cried. Mom covered her nose with a napkin. Dad's face turned bright red. And Claire looked like she was about to explode. She screamed, "What did you do?" I shrugged, just adding a personal touch to the wedding I paid for. Her face twisted with anger. "You're disgusting." I tilted my head. "Funny, I could say the same about your dress." She let out a furious scream. "You think this is funny?" "Oh, absolutely," I said, pulling out my phone, "and so do the thousands of people watching live right now." I showed her the screen. She went pale. "No," she whispered. "Oh yes." Comments were already pouring in. "Is this real? Did that horse just poop on her dress?" "Ben is a legend." She lunged to grab my phone, but I stepped back. "Careful," I said, "you wanted a classy event, Claire. Well, now it's internet famous." Mom gasped, "Ben, turn that off." I didn't. Instead, I gave a sharp whistle. The horses turned calmly and walked back out the doors, like they'd rehearsed it. Behind them, they left. Ruined dresses. Broken glasses. A shocked bride in a filthy gown. Claire's perfect night was destroyed. I turned to her with a big, satisfied smile. "Congrats on the wedding, sis," I said. "Hope it was everything you dreamed of." Then I walked out. I drove away, the smell of hay and leather still on me. Even with the windows rolled up, I could imagine what was happening back there. Claire screaming. Mom almost fainting. Dad boiling with anger. Guests rushing to get out before their fancy shoes got dirty. I should have felt bad. I didn't. I parked outside my ranch, got out, and took a deep breath of fresh air. My horses were back in their stalls, munching hay, totally unaware they'd just caused the biggest wedding disaster in town. I was still laughing when my phone lit up. I ignored a few calls. Then the texts came in. "Mom, Ben, pick up the phone, now. Dad, you've embarrassed the whole family. Claire, you're dead to me. Unknown number, dude, this is going viral, have you seen it?" That one caught my eye. I clicked the link. Claire's wedding was trending. A TikTok video called "The Most Insane Wedding Disaster You'll Ever See" already had 200,000 views. I hit play on the video. It started right at the moment Daisy left her gift on the dance floor. The camera showed guests pulling away in shock, then zoomed in on Claire. Her face was twisted with rage, and her dress was covered in filth. The comments were brutal. "Best wedding entrance ever, 10 out of 10. Imagine being so awful that your own brother sends horses instead of coming. She had it coming. I don't even know the whole story, but the way he walked off? Legendary." I laughed. At least some people got the joke. But my fun didn't last long. My phone rang again. I answered this time. "What is wrong with you?" Claire's voice nearly blew out my eardrum. "Nice wedding," I said with a grin. "Very classy." "You ruined everything," she screamed. "Do you even get what you did?" "People were recording, Ben." "Recording?" "Oh, I know," I said. "Congrats. You're famous now." She went quiet for a second, then said, "You humiliated me in front of everyone. My guests, Dan's family, they think I'm a joke." I rolled my eyes. "Claire, let's be honest, they probably thought that way before the horses showed up." She made an angry, frustrated noise. "Mom and Dad are furious. They want you to apologize. They want you to fix this." I laughed. "Fix what? That I wasn't good enough to be invited, but you were fine taking my money?" "Yeah, no thanks." "You're so selfish," she yelled. "You think this is about the money? It's about family, but you don't care about anyone but yourself." That hit a nerve. I held the phone tighter. "Oh really? Let's talk about selfish. Claire, I gave you thousands for your dream wedding. I got used. You don't get to act like the victim now." "You're unbelievable," she snapped. "And you're entitled," I shot back. "You and Mom and Dad, you all treat me like I owe you something just because we're related. Newsflash, family doesn't mean you get to walk all over me." For once, Claire had nothing to say. Then, a new voice came on the line. "Ben," Dan said, calm but serious, "I don't know the whole story, but what you did, it embarrassed Claire. It embarrassed me. It embarrassed my family." I replied flatly, "Oh no, not your family." He took a breath, clearly trying to stay calm. "This isn't funny. My parents are furious. My mom's already saying this marriage was a mistake." I raised my eyebrows. "Yikes." Dan's voice got tighter. "If you have any decency left, you'll fix this." I leaned against my truck. "And what does fixing it look like?" "An apology. Public. Claire's blog sponsors are backing out. This is serious." I actually laughed. "You think I'm going to apologize? After how she treated me?" Dan's voice went cold. "You'll regret this." I smirked. I already regret paying for that wedding, but sending the horses? That was worth every cent. Then I hung up. For the next 2 days, my phone was chaos. Mom and Dad kept calling. I ignored them. Claire sent me long texts, bouncing between anger and guilt. "I can't believe you did this. You ruined my life. Mom and Dad are heartbroken. Fix it." "Fine, you win. I hope you enjoy being alone." That last one stung a little, almost. Then, on the 3rd day, I got a text from someone unexpected. "Dan, we need to talk. I think I made a mistake." I stared at it for a second, then I replied. "Me, trouble in paradise already?" He wanted to talk. That was interesting. He'd just married Claire, and now he sounded like he regretted it. Me, didn't take long for the regret to kick in, huh? "Dan, just meet me, Ben." 2 hours later, we were sitting across from each other in a small diner. Dan looked like he hadn't slept, dark circles, tense jaw, fingers tapping the table nonstop. I sipped my coffee. "So, what's up?" Brother-in-law? Dan sighed. This isn't a joke, Ben. Oh, I think it is, I said. He rubbed his face. Look, we don't like each other, fine, but I need to know, why'd you do it? I set my coffee down. You mean, why did I send a few trained horses to a wedding I wasn't invited to, but paid for? His eye twitched. You humiliated Claire, he said. And she didn't do the same to me? I asked. She and my parents cut me out, after I gave them money, then she laughed about it. Dan said nothing. I leaned in. Did she even tell you I paid for the whole wedding? He didn't answer. I smirked. Didn't think so. Dan sighed. Look, I get that Claire can be difficult. I laughed. Oh, really? You noticed? But this is bad, he said. My mom is furious. My dad thinks I married into a family of lunatics. Claire's crying all the time. Her brand deals are gone. The videos made her look terrible. I shrugged. Not my problem. Dan clenched his coffee cup. Ben, please, you need to fix this. I stared at him. Let me get this straight. You married Claire, who treated me like trash, and now you want me to fix her mess? Yes, he said. I laughed. That's cute. His face hardened. You don't get it. If this doesn't get better, my marriage might not last. I calmly sipped my coffee and set it down. Then I looked him straight in the eye. Sounds like a you problem. Dan swore under his breath. Ben, please. I shook my head. Nope, I think I'll sit back and watch the show. I stood, tossed a few bills on the table, and gave him a pat on the shoulder. Good luck with Claire, I said. You'll need it. Then I walked out. The next week was even worse, for them. Claire's angry posts online made things worse. She tried to act like the victim, but nobody believed her. Top comment. Girl, you used your brother for money and uninvited him. This is karma. Her brand deals? Gone. Her influencer career? Crashing. And the best part? Dan started liking the comments that were against her. I nearly choked laughing when I saw that. Claire must have seen it too, because 2 days later, Mom texted me. Mom, Ben, your sister is devastated. You need to come over and talk. I laughed out loud. No way was I falling for that. But I was curious. So just for fun? I replied to my mom's text. Me, oh, now I'm family again? Come on, Mom, don't be childish. You really want to fix this? Yeah, that conversation wasn't going to happen. Then I got another message from Dan. Dan, Ben, I moved out. I stared at my screen. Oh. Things just got very interesting. Dan had left. I kept looking at his message, wondering why. Did Claire finally push him too far? Was it the online hate? Or maybe, just maybe, he finally saw who she really was. I took a breath and wrote back. Me, that was quick. What happened? He didn't answer right away. About 20 minutes later, my phone rang. I let it ring a few times before picking up. If you're calling to ask if you can crash at my place, the answer's no. Dan gave a dry laugh. I wouldn't blame you, but no, I'm at a hotel. I leaned back in my chair, boots up on the porch rail. So, tell me. Dan sighed. It wasn't just the wedding. That was the first big wake-up call, seeing how she treated you. But after that, it was like I couldn't unsee it. I waited. She blamed everyone but herself. First it was you for ruining the wedding, then me, for not defending her enough, then her friends, then the brands for dropping her. It was never her fault. I smirked. Classic Claire. Exactly, he said, and last night, we had a huge fight. I told her the only way to fix things was to admit what she did to you, maybe even apologize. I blinked. You actually said that? He gave a bitter chuckle. Yeah, dumb move, huh? What did she say? She called me a traitor, Dan said, sounding worn out. Said I should always be on her side, no matter what. I laughed. Welcome to the family. Not anymore, he said, because when I told her I was done, she looked me dead in the eyes and said, you'll regret this. I'm the best thing that's ever happened to you. I almost choked on my coffee. No way, she really said that? Oh yeah, he said. That's when I packed a bag and left. There was a moment of quiet. Then I asked, so, why are you telling me all this? Dan took a breath. Because I owe you an apology. That caught me off guard. I treated you like the bad guy, he said. I believed what Claire and your parents said, that you were bitter, trying to ruin things. But once I stopped agreeing with her, I saw it. She turned on me, just like she did to you. He paused. She's toxic, Ben, and honestly, your whole family is. I let that sink in. Then I said, yeah, I know. 3 days later, Claire called. I didn't answer. Then I got a text from Mom. Mom, Benjamin, pick up. Your sister is heartbroken. I stared at it for a while, then replied. She made her bed, let her lie in it. After that, nothing, no more calls, no more texts. And for the first time in years, I felt free. No guilt. No pressure. No one treating me like a walking bank account. I got back to my life, my horses, my business, and it felt good. Then, about a month later, I got a letter in the mail. It was from Dan. Inside was a short note. Dan, thanks for helping me see things clearly. Next round of drinks is on me. And taped to the bottom? A copy of Claire's divorce papers. I laughed so hard I nearly scared the horses.